What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, I want to give you an update on what Solana's price is doing because its price is somewhat pulling back a little bit, and I think you would probably want to know what the game plan is from here. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video, everybody. Well, looking at Solana, what we can see is that its price is down a little bit today, but in my opinion, nothing that I am super concerned about. Now, I will let you know, over on my second channel, I actually commented on where I thought the market was at right now, talked about the general market, talked about some news and stuff like that. So make sure that you do go check that out down below, guys. It's called the Crypto Catch Up. Find the link down in the description below. Check out my video from this morning. I talked about where I think we are in this market and a little bit about why we are seeing a pullback today. But overall, again, I'm definitely not all too concerned with what we are seeing from Solana at this given point. You know, I told you all that as we approach the top side of this wedge that I wasn't going to be doing any buying because realistically we could see some type of pullback. We saw, of course, that some of our short time indicators were getting a little bit overextended, right? We saw bearish divergence here as we started to reach towards the top side, and so some type of pullback off of that is not surprising at all. And so of course, because of that, now that we have seen Solana's price hit that top side and then pull back a rough 9 or 10%, a lot of you have been commenting on my last video and the video before that, just like, hey, what's the game plan? What are you doing now? So I wanted to update you on that. Well, what we can see is that Solana's price is pulling back, but honestly, this pullback is looking extremely healthy. I mean, it's nothing that I'm super concerned about. I'm using the 4-hour charts because it shows a little bit clearer what's happening here. It's pretty easy to understand, right? We got all the way back up towards the top side of this wedge, and now we have seemingly been putting in some sort of ABC correction to the downside. Now, in the meantime, and while that has been happening, our RSI on the 4-hour charts is doing something extremely similar, putting in a rather, congruent structure there, as well as the fact that our Bollinger Bands are now overextended back towards the downside as they should be coming off of the top side. So overall, a rather healthy pullback, not one that I'm concerned about. And I mean, Solana did run, what was this, like, what percentage was this? This was, 50% pump to the upside, guys. So seeing some type of pullback of 10% is no shocker. It's not surprising at all. Now, from a grand scheme of things, what I've kind of decided to do was I am going to start doing some buying, but I'm not buying a ton quite yet. We're not quite at the zone that I would be wanting to buy at. And the main reason being is, guys, we were buying on the channel around $119. We didn't time the bottom perfectly, if I'm being super honest here, but we did get in right around this $119 level, and those purchases are up a good bit, right? I have one of them on 5x leverage, and that bad boy is sitting up currently. I mean, we're probably somewhere around 125, 150% in profit. I am probably going to take a little bit of profit off that thing, but overall, I'm not really too interested in buying right now because we did just get in a better buying opportunity, last week. But I definitely do think there is some opportunity for purchase here, especially if Solana continues lower. Now, the first level that I'm looking at for purchasing is around $142, okay? If we get towards $142, at that given point, it does seem quite clear to me that we would be getting close to that 4-hour RSI, getting towards that weak threshold, if not the oversold threshold, and we would have pushed very far down into our Bollinger Bands. And so at that given point, we would be more than 2 standard deviations away from this 20 simple moving average, probably closer to 3 if I had to guess, but I'm not sure, too good on that math. But overall, we would be rather overextended if this does come back down and reach this previous point of support. And I think at that point we might get some type of bounce. And then, yeah, sure, obviously we have the threat of the head and shoulders pattern, but again, that's a bridge we'll cross if we get there. And so overall, not buying quite yet, but I do have intentions of starting my purchasing on Solana again around $142. Now, if Solana does go a little bit lower than that, I will start picking it up around this 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone, which is currently sat around $130, $128 to $130, which is right here. And those are the 2 main levels I'm looking to purchase at because I think getting a bounce off of one of them would be rather likely. You guys know that my current sentiment, my current thesis is that these 2 fake outs invalidated each other, and so we're likely in a spot to where we're going to try to find a higher low and try to break through the top side of this wedge at some point. It's not a 100% guarantee, obviously, but it does seem as if it is a strong possibility, and knowing that it's a strong possibility, knowing we're in a bull market and there are still bullish catalysts, even though JP Morgan wants to say there aren't any, I think that we could see this thing, I think we could see Solana still try to make a run for the upside here, and so I'm happy to accumulate anywhere below $150, honestly. I think $250, $300 is a steal, and that's still 80 to 100% gains from here, and so because of that current opinion, pullback is healthy, not concerned, plans on purchasing at 142, plans on purchasing at 130, and then obviously if we hit the bottom side of this wedge again, I will be doing some buying down there. Now, guys, if you do want to do some trading on Solana yourself, please do use my link down to Margex down below. The coolest part about Margex is that you don't need a VPN and you don't need a KYC. You can just use it from anywhere in the world, no matter who you are. And on top of that, you're going to get up to $10,000 in bonuses whenever you do sign up and start trading. So make sure you do go check that out down below. It's absolutely phenomenal. But overall, that's the quick update getting the week started for Solana. So if we do continue the week into some red, if we do pull back a bit, I'm just going to be doing some dollar cost averaging, keeping it real simple, people keeping it real chill. So of course, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.